Hey, tervetuloa and welcome to this episode of Startup at the Finnish with me, Mark Wiltshire, where I speak to entrepreneurs in Finland to inspire entrepreneurs in Finland, hearing their stories, learning from their tips, avoiding their missteps and celebrating their progress. In this episode, we're joined by Senf. Hi, Sara.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us. And maybe first of all, take a moment to introduce yourself and your business.
Yeah, okay, so my name is Sara Senf. I am from Germany. I moved to Finland almost 17 years ago. And I have my own photography business, which I started in autumn 22.
So you've been going nearly 3 years.
Yeah, almost.
So tell a little bit first of all about your story and how you came to move from Germany to Finland.
Yeah, okay, so as I said, I came here in 2008 to be with my Finnish partner, which I met online by chance.
That's a familiar story. I think we're going to hear that quite regularly during this series.
So, yeah, well, I tried to remember. We met online by chance and I visited him for a week. And then I went back to Germany, packed a suitcase and let anyone know I'm moving to Finland. And yeah.
Really? Just like that?
Yeah, well.
And never look back?
Well, maybe sometimes, yes. But, when you're 20 and you want to move out and see the world.
You did it. You did that really young, actually, compared to many people who move here for love.
Yeah, just turned 20.
Yeah. So when you first came here, what did you do?
I came here quite spontaneously, and
so it seems.
Yeah, maybe also a bit naively, and I did know a bit Finnish language, but it was not enough. So how was it? Yeah, I think I came here and then I visited the Etelä-Pohjanmaalle, Seinäjoen Kansalaisopisto. I don't know what's the...
I translate it as like community college.
Yeah,
I think that's
and I made a Finnish course there, but it was only one evening during the week, and it was not enough. And...
Do you remember your first teacher?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't remember, but I know some of my classmates, and some of them are still in Seinäjoki. Yeah.
I remember some of the people that I met in my first Finnish class, and some of them became friends, and actually some have moved away from Seinäjoki now. But it's interesting how that Finnish class can be your first network. I think one or two are still
in Seinäjoki, or at least somewhere close to Seinäjoki. And luckily I got a little job, like quite straight away. My partner's aunt's hearing aid shop.
Okay.
Just to do some paperwork.
Yeah.
And then I got some intensive Finnish language course at Sedu.
Yeah, so this was some sort of integration training.
Yes, it was. The first one was called MAVA.
Okay.
I really tried to remember I think it was some maahanmuuttajan valmistava ammatti something.
Maybe, yeah.
To prepare foreigners for studies in Finland. And after that I made another intensive course at Sedu too.
Okay, but that's over 17 years, and you've been yrittäjä for the last 3 years. What else did you do in that meantime? Or maybe what was your path towards becoming or deciding to be yrittäjä?
Yeah, it was a long path. After I finished the language course, I did few työharjoittelus,
practical
trainings, and it's so long time ago.
Yeah.
How was it? And actually I moved back to Germany in 2010 to do an professional training as a photographer for 3 years.
Right. Okay. For how long?
3 years.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I worked in a classical photo studio where people could come to take past photos and family photos and weddings and so on. And I went to school at the same time, ammattikoulu. And 2014 I moved again.
Right. Okay.
to Finland.
So although you only started the company 3 years ago, you'd had this idea way back and trained to do it.
Maybe not the idea to start my own business, not yet. But yeah, I wanted to become a photographer, and so I came back to Seinäjoki in 2014, and I was looking for a job as a photographer, but it was almost impossible. Of course, my language skills they got a bit worse again over the years, and well, I kind of had to come back, and Oh, now I remember.
Okay.
Actually, I went back to work in the hearing aid
Right. Okay.
shop for some time, and I also did a viestintäsihteerin ammattitutkinto, a SEDU.
Okay. So this is like a professional qualification in communications.
Yes,
Right,
yes,
okay.
but it's an important part of my
Sure.
way to become entrepreneur, because there I made a practical training in a communications office
Okay.
where I could also take photos and some videos too, I think. And when I finished this viestintäsihteerin koulutus, I started to work as kevytyrittäjä.
Yes. Okay. So this is like light entrepreneurship, where you're doing a small amount of work that you can invoice for, but you don't need all of the bureaucracy of having your own company and having your own accountant and everything. There are services for this.
Yeah. So I started. I thought, why not? I can try.
Yeah.
I had some clients, not many, but few, and it was some extra work, and but I was basically still unemployed, and I had to deal with all the unemployment office and Etelä, and then there was COVID time, and it was everything was a bit
tough. It was tough. I think
and
when you were solo entrepreneur or trying to be at that time, it was really difficult.
Yeah, and the whole time was a bit difficult for me back then, and I didn't know what to do with my life, and then I ended up is maybe a bit hard to say, but I started a half part-time job, but I really didn't like it. It was selling things in a store, and it wasn't mine, and I somehow realized it was not what I wanted to do, and then now I try it.
That was the motivation.
Yeah.
But did it help, like working in the hearing aid shop and working in that other store, with your language skills and things like that?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. And I think you have another question there about how my free time activities.
Well,
but
okay.
wait.
So maybe we'll come to that, because I wanted to ask, what is the form of your company that you decided to start when you decided to become an entrepreneur and have your own company? What form of company did you choose?
It's toiminimi.
So this is like a solo enterprise.
Yes.
Why did you choose that as over being a limited company or a public limited company?
It just seemed to make most sense to start as a sole.
I think it's maybe a natural progression from being kevytyrittäjä as well.
Yeah.
I believe that many people have transferable skills from their everyday life or from their hobbies that they can bring into their working life. What did you pick up along the way from your hobbies that you were able to transfer into your working life?
Self-confidence.
Okay.
Most of all, I have a lot of hobbies and maybe even too many. I sing at the Yrittäjäopisto and I perform with the Seinäjoen ukulele orchestra so, and I would say before my self-confidence it was almost gone. It was almost zero, and I always said no. I'm too scared to start my own business. How can I talk to my clients in Finnish, and how can I even call somebody or talk to someone on the phone? But yes, that definitely helped me.
So performing, being up on stage and projecting kind of gave you confidence.
I don't know. I think it's a big factor.
I think it makes sense. Yeah, I think it makes sense.
And of course, the language skills are better if you have to speak Finnish in your free time.
But you must have also had an interest in photography to think, I'm going to go and study this in Germany for 3 years. And
weirdly, after I finished this the education in Germany, I had in my free time I had almost no interest in
right.
I was kind of it was a lot of work there, and it was sometimes really, really, really stressful, especially during summers. There were a lot of weddings and a lot of events, and I think I needed a little pause.
Yeah, okay.
But it came back, Piccohilia, and of course I like to take photos during my free time, but more nature and northern lights and
but all of that, like it's kind of tuning your eye to what makes a good shot, and if I have to do something, I could come here and that would be a nice place to take photos or something. When you started the company, how did you decide that there was a big enough market for another photographer in Seinäjoki? How did you go about deciding that, or did you just jump in?
Kinda, yeah. Of course, I had already few clients, and I knew there are many companies in Seinäjoki, for example, and there are a lot of events. It's a quite active town, so
there are photo studios in town, and some have been there for ever, as long as we've been here. So how do you differentiate your business from what they're offering, and how do you go about attracting your customers to you?
Yeah, well, I don't have a studio, for example. I go to all the places and take the studio with me.
Right.
So studio photography is very traditional, and I just think I have my own style, and
Are you trying to attract different types of customers than those that might go to a studio for a photograph?
Of course, I also do family photos and portraits, but I usually try to go to different places with my clients, to interesting outdoor locations. Of course, I also go to people's homes.
You also have business customers as well.
I have business customers. Yes, I go to to companies and take photos of their products, for example, or their rooms and their employees.
When it came to starting your business, what practical challenges were there that you had to overcome?
Yeah, well, you said it before. I don't know how many, but there are many photographers in Seinäjoki and everywhere. And also amateur photographers, and the profession is not a protected profession. I don't know.
Yeah, like where you need to be part of a guild or a trade or something like that to do it.
Basically, everybody who owns a camera can say, okay, I'm now a photographer.
And nowadays, anyone who owns a phone owns a camera, so they think they can take photos.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So, you have to find something unique to offer. Maybe even just specify in one thing, I think. And of course, I had to leave my comfort zone many times. Like I said, it was even a big step for me to call somebody and ask for something. And of course, the language it's good, but it's not my own language. So
overcoming objections in Finnish is something I find the challenge. Like, it's okay to make the call and to know what you want to say, but when they say no, how do you get around that? That's where I've found the challenge. I think that's quite normal.
Yes, and I remember at the beginning I sent many emails to let people know, okay, it's what I do, and almost nobody answered. So I don't know if it's a Finnish thing or is it just because people get so many emails nowadays and they have no time to answer. So I thought, okay, now I have to call. But
a few years ago, I decided that I'd quite like to do more voiceover work, because I've done some, and I could package that into a service where I deliver the voiceover all edited and marked, and it's easy for the photographer to use. And I thought I'd approach brand agencies and marketing companies. So my first step was to send them a letter. I actually wrote a letter and posted it to them.
That's quite unique.
Yes. And it didn't get me any work, but everyone that I called, they were like, you're the letter guy. So it kind of, I know that it got through to the right person, even if they didn't have any work there or then, and it didn't develop into anything, but it's still, for me, that was quite a useful lesson to try and find a way. 20 years ago, everyone would have had a pile of papers on their desk. Nowadays they don't. So if one letter arrives, it might just catch their eye. Yeah.
Well, and nowadays writing emails is a lot faster than beginning. Writing in Finnish is still,
and if you have a template and you can send a very similar thing to people, as long as you make sure you edit all the bits you need to edit. Dear first name, that's not a good mistake to make.
Yes, but
What support did you receive when you were starting the company? It could be financial support, it could be advice, or it could be something else that helped you get started.
Yeah. So at this time, I had a part-time job, but I also had the idea to start my own business. So I found out about yrityskokeilu.
So this is like business or a business experience or trial or something like that.
I think the right name is Yrittäjyyskokeilu.
Okay, so maybe that's like entrepreneur trial or something.
And so I think it was 4 months. I could start to write a business plan and just get more ideas how to start a business, and I could try to get first clients and
who offered this yrittäjyyskokeilu?
Back then it was the unemployed.
So it was part of like your unemployment benefits that you were receiving. Okay.
And I had like a person who was responsible for like when people want to start businesses and and you can write a business plan. You can still get the unemployment benefits for 4 months, no matter what. And after the 4 months, they will check again.
Yeah, okay.
Is it a full-time business now, or is it like sivu?
Yeah, like a side hustle.
And or how is it in general?
Yeah.
And Yeah, I also tried to apply for Startiraha, but unfortunately I didn't get it because there were just too many
photographers.
Yes.
Yeah, Startiraha is certainly something that's going to crop up again and again through this series. I'm sure this is kind of startup support for new companies, and they tend to give it for a period of 6 months, and then you can apply again and maybe get it for another 6 months.
Exactly. Yes, but well, I didn't get it, and they after the 4 months, she asked me, what do you want to do now? Like, are you sure? Are you sure you are able to start? But I did not want to go back to the.
Okay, so it given you a taste.
Yeah, and I was like, no, I try it now, and if it goes bad, then.
Was there any other advice or support that you got at that time of starting the company?
I got advice from Into Seinäjoki, for example. I went there several times, and Yrittäjäopisto, they helped me, for example, with writing the business plan, and Etelä-Pohjanmaalle WISE ry. So all of them.
Yeah, WISE. Obviously, you know, I'm one of the founders of WISE, and for the members of WISE, we offer some advice, mentoring, whatever you want to call it, to our members, especially when they're looking for starting their own business, because a lot of the board have got experience of entrepreneurship, so we have some ideas and things to offer. I'm glad it was useful. I'm glad we're here 2.5 years later having this conversation about your business, and it's still going strong.
It was just good for to find also some courage to go for it.
As part of this yrittäjyyskokeilu, did you also make some kind of marketing plan?
Yes, I had to make a marketing plan. It was a part of the business plan. And well, the good thing about my business is, I had everything ready. I had all the equipment. I had the camera. I had all the lenses. I had the programs like Photoshop and Lightroom, and I could just start.
Yes.
And I knew how to use Instagram and Facebook, and I created a web page, and I could do everything by my own. Still, I would love to have someone to take care of my social media, because
you and me both.
I absolutely hate it still. And if I can afford it someday, I would definitely hire a social media person.
Maybe you could offer a student an internship to come and do your social media.
Yeah, good idea.
It's not it would be very helpful for the students as well as for you, and maybe you get someone to I don't know, bring you new ideas as well.
Yes, that would be great.
And does your marketing bring you customers, or do you now still have to go out and actively find new customers?
I think I always have to.
Yeah,
I always have to.
How do you find them? Is it like you said before, actively calling and?
Yes, of course. Seinäjoki is a small town, so it's a lot. Like Puska radio and
like a bush radio.
Bush radio, yes, and. If you go somewhere, there might be people, and they would tell to other people. And I know a lot of people, like through my free time activities. And it's Seinäjoki is like everybody knows everybody, and but I still have to actively contact people, companies, and.
I think this is something that's important for new entrepreneurs to understand, is that being an entrepreneur means sales. Regardless of what your product or service is, the first thing you've got to do is sell it and get customers there. So you've taken that long path to being comfortable to, or more comfortable, phoning people and emailing and the whole process, and it does take time.
Yes, and of course the the pricing was really hard for me at the beginning, because it took me some time to realize, okay, it's now my job, and I have to take higher prices to survive.
Yeah. And when you say it was difficult, was it difficult to be able to value your own time? Is that what you found tough?
Yeah.
And also, I guess, understand where you fit into the ecosystem of the other photographers that are out there to find your customers. But you did it.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. It's better now.
So do you have any regular partners or collaborators or anyone that's been helpful to you over the last few years getting your business up and running?
Yeah. Well, I still offer like photography mostly, but I think last year I also started to offer videos in cooperation with Glenn, who you might also know.
Yes, yeah.
And because I don't know, it almost seems like only photos then it's not enough anymore nowadays with the TikTok and YouTube generation.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are doing videos together and trying to offer more than just photos.
So working as a partnership, whether it's a loose partnership, it's bringing more opportunities to you and also opportunities to him as well.
Of course, it's something you can combine, good photos and videos, and I know about photos and he knows about videos. So,
are there particular types of video that people are asking you to make, or is it quite varied?
Well, so we have just started it.
Okay.
So, promo videos, or we would like to do more interior videos, or how do you say, like real estate videos, because there's definitely a market for it. Like
going around a house that's for sale and feel. Okay.
Yeah, you can see it quite often nowadays. If you want to sell your flat or your house.
And that's like an extension of the sort of photography you've been doing over the years anyway, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, and it's always good to learn something new.
Always good.
Yeah.
What about within your industry? Is there an active community of photographers? You said there's a lot, but is there a community of them, or is everyone a bit of a lone wolf doing their thing on their own?
Hard to say. Do you mean like a?
I mean, like, do the photographers in the area help each other, offer work to each other, or do you pick up opportunities that way?
Yeah, some of them.
Yeah.
I was able to do some work for some. Is it a marketing office, and who also offers photography, and she asked me to come and help, or for example, I needed to. I needed a background for something, but I didn't have the right one. So we asked another photographer can we lend your background, and it was fine. Like, I think somebody said no, not really, but what is that?
Yeah. So some people are happy to help, and others want to keep.
Others maybe
keep
a bit like, no, I don't know. Are you my enemy now?
Yeah, exactly.
But I think it's good thing to help each other out. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's true. And my next question is kind of about plans to grow your business, but I think you kind of just touched on that you've added this video service to.
Well, I like to be a sole entrepreneur, and I don't want anything like huge. I just want the business to run well, and maybe a little studio someday would be nice, and a social media person. That's all I need.
but this ties into exactly what we said in the introduction to this podcast and the text we've written about it, is that not every startup is aiming to be a unicorn.
No.
And you've proven that. Like you've started a business that supports your lifestyle, and I think that's as important as anyone having dreams to rule the world. In fact, I think it's nicer than someone who starts a company wanting to take over the world.
Yeah, of course I want to, what's the right word, extend my client base.
Yeah, more customers, but not necessarily a bigger enterprise that is more work to try and manage.
Yeah.
So, final question. Do you have any future plans or dreams that you'd like to follow with your company?
Well, to be honest, I don't like to plan like too far away.
Yeah.
The future. Maybe a studio, like a nice little studio where people could come and take their photos and dreams. I don't know. I really like to take interior photos, and I just like nice rooms and nice designs. And before I moved to Finland, I started to study architecture for one semester. So I really like to take photos of properties, and maybe someday it would be possible to only make this kind of things, to go to nice places and nice hotels and take photos of their properties.
Why not?
Yeah.
That's a good enough dream.
Yeah. It's difficult. I like to take photos of people too, but it's just my favorite.
Yeah, it's
thing.
the thing that catches your attention or your interest. Yeah, I get it. I think, Sarah, that's probably the end of this episode. Big thanks to you, Sarah Senf, for being with us today. And I suppose it's only fair to say, where can people find you online? Where, if someone's interested by what you said, what's your website, or where can they find you?
It's my own name, like Finnish, English, like www is German, but
it's okay.
It's sarasenf.com.
Okay.
Yeah. And of course there is my Instagram, which is a bit inactive, but
you're taking all these photos. Surely you can find something to share on there.
I should.
Anyway, thanks for joining us for this episode. And Startup at the Finnish was presented by me, Mark Wiltshire, and was produced by Suomen Yrittäjäopisto with support from European Union Maaseuturahasto. The next episode will be along in a couple of weeks. Thank you for listening, and until the next episode comes along, goodbye. Kiitos.